Now it brings me to, as I said, the part of the program that I always am delightful is to actually look at the questions that have come in, and so that we can continue our conversation. So if you haven't had a chance to put any of your questions into the hopper, please feel free to do so. I think looking at the first question here, it says, what other case stories can SalesChoice share? Most of our cases are on our website, but I will highlight very briefly one because it just got approved literally 30 days ago, and that is Jerry Werner, who's the VP of Sales in a company actually in New Brunswick, Canada. And they are a professional services company that also have software as well. And their problem that they wanted to solve was definitely, could they grow faster with AI? By focusing on the best deals, would it actually impact their growth? And I'm really pleased to say that as a result, last year they grew their company for the first time by well over 107%. Now, was that just better deals coming into the hopper? We believe, like they do, that by focusing on the A's and B's and finding more best deals that automatically were classified made a big difference. We saw this also in macadamia as well, which is another fairly significant company, where they were able to grow their top line revenue significantly. Actually, was over by 2 million. And the VP he was very wise. I'm not saying that all VPs are very wise, but this person in particular was very wise. Very wise in the sense he's now a CEO of an incredibly high growth company. But Dinesh, he said, if these brilliant scientists who've got all these PhDs at advanced mathematics and statistics and AI, and they come together and they're in the R&D labs for over 3 years, if you say something is a dud, I'm just going to trust you. And that's all he did. He said, and so any salesperson that came into the coverage that things were classified as a D or an F, they wouldn't get any resourcing support. He wasn't sanctioning it. He said, don't chase them, don't spend. But, it looks like, I don't care, don't chase them, off your coverage. It was as simple as that. There was no discussion. So that leadership signaled the organization what was important. And then obviously there was feedback loops going into the marketing organization about those particular classifications, which actually turned out to be some of the channels that had the lowest conversion rates were still coming into their leads, and they're being traded equally, right? And that's where these sciences can play a very powerful role. So that's an example of both innovation and a brief highlight on another story. So I'm going to turn the next one over to Iris. And Iris, this question is, what systems is the Okapi platform currently integrated with?
Oh, thank you. We integrate with most ERP systems, including QuickBooks, NetSuite Oracle, Microsoft Dynamics. We integrate with development management platforms like Jira and others. We also have interfaces to leading HR, payroll, purchasing and marketing systems, and of course, Salesforce.
Thanks. You actually have another question right after, but you talked about briefly Ahava, and did Ahava use KPIs before Okapi? And you may want to just clarify who Ahava is in case some folks didn't hear that reference earlier.
It's a great question, thank you. Like most organizations, Ahava was actually using KPIs for many years before implementing Okapi, but it was not having the desired effect. They were measuring KPIs mostly in the financial outcome area, like revenue and profit. And these KPIs were managed manually in complex Excel by the CFO and not visible to the business unit managers. They were not measuring business processes. But since using Okapi, they are making a real impact on the bottom line.
And the next sub-question is, how long did it take before they started to see value?
Good question. Very quickly, as we said. Typically within the first 3 months, the organization starts talking the key performance indicators language. The focus of the entire team is on the selected KPIs, and this is where they focused most of their efforts, the business results are quick to follow.
Thanks, Iris. One other question that's just come in, I think it's quite a timely one, is what is SalesChoice's and Okapi's perspective on transparent AI? First, let me just define what we mean by transparent AI from our vantage point. It's disclosing what are the patterns in the predictive model that are actually driving the outcomes. So we are both very, very committed to exposing the factors so the clients can actually understand the patterns that the AI algorithms are picking up and then fueling, if you want to call it, the intelligence. We have found through our deployments that there's sometimes fine-tuning that goes on right at the beginning of the training of the AI engine. And, much like Iris has said, that there are specific, we call external feeds that might be and want to be integrated, incorporated into the alert notification. So that kind of, clarity is an ongoing process, but we're very committed. Many companies out in the market, and I do think this is an important point, they'll take a subset of, we'll call it fields, that they believe are, kind of logical business-wise, and they will drive them through in terms of the model, but they won't disclose to the clients. They just say that that this is that's the derivative, and you get a parameter, but you don't really know what's underneath the covers, and that can be very unsettling. And so I think as the regulatory groups and everything unfold and the nature of the risks of the business, there will have to be more disclosure. And so we've built our software to basically be very clear about what the patterns are. Okay, the next question I'm going to pass to you, Iris. It's what is the ongoing change management effort required after implementation? If implementation weeks, does the change management take months? And I'll have a few words on that as well, but if you could pick that one up from your perspective on the ongoing dialogue that goes with these deployments.
The dialogue is usually very intensive in the first 3 months. We have an onboarding process with engagement managers working with the customer to get the system fine-tuned. And what we see that after these 3 months, the organization is already using the platform very simply. We do have fine-tuning gates every 3 months to set up some more practices and some more KPIs. But the first 3 months are the time that is really intensive.
Thanks. Just a brief build on that. One of the things that we've learned is that it really depends on the capabilities of the organization and their ability to sustain the evolution, right? So, what happens is that after the engine is set and the things are set, that customer success resource comes into play. And what we're starting to find is that some clients want an ongoing data scientist. I'd call it support. So we're starting to offer some outsourcing integrated services along with the deployment. We do some change management readiness assessments. So, for example, if it's the full Okapi solution, right, the resources that are going to continue to manage the whole deployment, there's many other different stakeholders because you've got a broader KPI set. If it's just sales, many sales professionals absolutely do not have the skills in advanced data sciences. And often many of the IT resources do not as well. And, so we do find that there is a need to sometimes have that, I call it knowledge transfer, highlight to the client that they may want to hire an incremental resource, help them source, or that we're offering data scientist reviews. There's no question that a quarterly review is needed because with the speed that companies are moving at, there are other data sets that maybe they want to bring in to the modeling, etc. So that dynamic is going on. I think it all goes back to being clear on what are the use cases that need to be solved. And I'm really of the camp of less is more. And, we found that clients have to let go. They have to let go, and that's the hardest part in the change management, is old past processes that they've created with spreadsheets and systems, getting down to that critical few and just stopping and quit looking in the rear view mirror, because it really isn't adding any value. The world's moving far too fast, and that simplification can be very powerful. But there's definitely, the larger the organization, the change management and ongoing communication and the advancement and evolution is an ongoing, continuous process, I would say. There are other questions in the bank here? No, I got a thumbs up from Malay. So I'd first like to say thank you, Iris, for your participation with us from today. It's truly a pleasure. I'm just so thrilled to be a partner.
Thank you.
And
thank you, Cindy, for hosting.
No worries, our pleasure. So for those of us that are still with us, I would like to give you some context regarding our next session that'll be coming up here shortly. I think a date has been set for, October the 4th. And if you haven't heard of the Enterprise Sales Forum, we're bringing in the founder, Mark Birch. Mark has built a wonderful community. It's a global community. I think they're up to about 30 different, I'd call it meetups that are happening worldwide. I'm a coach advisor to the one in Toronto where we reside. And what's really nice about this group is that it's targeting the whole community, VPs of sales, sales operational leaders, reps, and to really have a deeper dialogue about their needs. And each community brings in different speakers. And, I think Mark's got quite an interesting success story. Obviously, our interest is his community is our target buyer community. So, for us, it's a chance to get out and be with B2B sales professionals and create possibilities together. So you'll have a chance to meet Mark. He's located in New York, and he's a former Oracle dude, and just a prince of a man. So I hope you do come out, because he has built one of the most successful meetup communities worldwide. And I think, and as we all know, building out customer community practices for us and our employees is a very, very powerful way. And he's mobilized an entire, voluntary organization to help bring that together. So we're always very open. Feel free to contact Iris, the co-founder and CEO of Okapi. My email's there as well. We welcome a follow-up if you'd like an integrated demo of our capabilities and learn more. I think both organizations have won many recent awards, which we're very pleased. But there's nothing more important than customers and finding advocates. So thank you, all of you, for attending the Predictive World Forum Series, which is our educational division of SalesChoice. And we're very committed to help you see more, to win more. Your learning interest is appreciated, and we look forward to your continued participation in our community of analytics and business professionals. We'll be putting this out on our Predictive World channel, so you'll be able to share the video. And thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.